motherfucker. The king is back.
Hey, man. That was a minute long.
All right, that's staying in, bro, for sure. But anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Outside the Octagon podcast. We've been away for a little bit, but we are back today. I'm the host over here, Charleston Payne, over here to my left, the glorious, great co-host, Jude Starnes. Jude, how you doing today, man?
Well, I was doing good until we tried the new intro, and I don't know if it's gonna work. At least not that length.
No, we're gonna do it this time, bro. We're gonna let it fly.
I think we'll leave that one in this time, but moving forward, we just wanted to test that one out, and I think the test may have failed.
Yeah, hey, trial and error, dude. That's what we do around here. Hell, it's MMA, bro.
Hey, man.
I mean, it's us versus this setup, I reckon, today, huh? But look, to get us started, man, we're gonna go ahead. Give us a follow on Instagram if you don't mind. Make sure before the video starts, go ahead and click that thumbs up because we promise you're going to like this video before you even get started, before we get into the deep diving material that we have today. And like I said, follow us on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Instagram is going to be at Outside the Octagon Pod _ at Outside the Octagon Pod _ Jude, I know you got something you want to talk about.
Oh, as always, find us on TikTok. Stay tuned to Instagram for giveaways coming very soon. As soon as we reach our goals, we are going to give away this signed, autographed Dustin Poirier Zencan. So,
Why don't you guys get yourself a very good look at that? Go on once, go on twice. Sold to whoever gets us to 500 subscribers.
Hey, I like it. It doesn't fall off, man. But yeah, if you're a Zenner and you like Dustin Poirier, you know, get us to 500, and like I said, it'd be a giveaway. So,
darn right, man. What you got to say about the sponsors? I know you got a little sponsor.
All right, Prowler Pickles, the best pickles in the game, man. There's not but one pickle that I will put in my mouth, and it's a Prowler pickle. So go use code OTO10 for 10% off at purchase at prowlerpickles.com.
Definitely go check them out. Like Jude said, it's about the only pickle I'll put in. Well, it is the only pickle I'll put in my mouth. It's not about the only, but
debatable.
You know, oh God, no Diddy. Hold up, let me put this thing in there one time since we haven't got to do this in a while. There we go. All right, now it's time to get rolling. So to start it off, before we get into some of the UFC 306 at the Sphere preview that we're going to do for you guys, talking about all the main card, I want to go ahead and talk about what happened last week. So the reason we didn't get an episode out, Jude was sick. There was a few little things
Personal
going on.
reasons.
Also around the offices of Outside the Octagon. We are back. We're back in action. I got to meet Dustin Poirier last week. He was bartending at Hooters on Segan Lane. It was a very, very, very good time. Incredible time. He checked my ID, checked everybody's ID. You know, he didn't get himself in any trouble. Said that he wasn't trying to go to jail that night. Ended up buying Bud Lights for everybody, but you know, it's not what it used to be with those Bud Lights anyway. So I'll dabble, but it was a good time. Hey, if Dustin Poirier is giving that shit to me, I'll take it. You know.
Hey, speaking of pickles, man, you know, starting to make me question. First
Dude,
the pickles and then the Bud Light.
All right, dude. All right, that's enough.
Right.
But no, I mean, it was a great time. It was a great time meeting Poirier. You know, unfortunately, Jude wasn't able to be there. Wish you could have been there, brother. But hey, maybe someday we'll be able to have the guy on the pod or something. You never know.
Man, I want to take a leg kick for sure. I'm gonna take a leg kick from him one day. I'm gonna continue to take leg kicks from every single MMA fighter we have on the podcast. And it sucks, but I don't really care. I kind of like it. So,
yeah, I mean, first of all, it's entertaining, especially for me because especially like the coolest one was the live guest episode. Obviously, the only one that we got to put out on the podcast. when I had to kind of come down off the stage, adjust the camera and everything, get everything back right.
Yeah.
Click that record button, and it's kind of like, all right, are you ready to get your leg seared off by a guy that is a pro at kicking legs?
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. I think I've been kicked hard. Like, it was hard, but I think I've been kicked harder. Like, some people are just stupid, and, like, I think he held back a little bit. I think some normal people kick harder just because they don't hold anything back, man. Took one recently that was pretty bad because, believe it or not, I just do it for fun off camera. So
He definitely does do that. It's kind of a regular thing going on now for Jude to just kind of eat a leg kick. You know,
it's got to be steel at this point.
It's quite often.
It's gotta be.
I guess that kind of covers everything as to why we missed the episode. So why don't we go ahead and start talking about what we're going to talk about in this episode now that we're here?
Yeah, man. I've been ready, man.
UFC 306 at the Sphere. First of all, the ticket sales are reportedly absolutely terrible from what I've been seeing. From what I've seen, there are still 3,000 unsold tickets. The tickets that were on the top decks that were originally $2,300 right now are going for $800. The ticket prices have been cut in half for every section you can imagine at the Sphere. A lot of the tickets aren't selling, so it kind of seems like that it's definitely going to be a one and done, considering that this event's just not getting the job done. Not like it hurts the company of the UFC to not sell these tickets. Not like I'm talking shit about them either. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. What am I? I mean, who am I to judge?
Yeah.
But
I think it's a cool idea to have it at the Sphere, and I wish that they would have like cooler venues other than the regular venues that's just safe. So it kind of sucks that this one didn't work out because I feel like it's going to stop the UFC from taking more risk in the future with like outdoor events or, you know, events at cooler places like the Sphere and stuff. You know, it was a cool idea, but just $3,000. What didn't they open at $3,000 or something?
Yeah.
Like they opened at a crazy amount. It just doesn't hold enough people. Like, it just doesn't.
no,
So
no, it definitely doesn't. Especially considering that the Octagon is going to be here and all the crowd is just going to be going out this way. There's nobody on this side or the sides of the Octagon, you know, so it definitely shrinks the typical UFC crowd. So I understand why tickets were originally valued so high, but it is kind of shocking that some of those tickets are not selling because we got some pretty big names that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. We got Ronaldo Rodriguez, who opens up as the favorite versus Odie Osborne. Odie Osborne, the Jamaican, you know, for this particular matchup, I think that I would have to lean towards Ronaldo Rodriguez. Record-wise, he's done a lot better. Significant strike percentage. He's about 7% higher on significant strikes landed and his accuracy. The only thing that questions me with this fight is Odie Osborne has about an 8-inch reach advantage. It's a 7.5-inch reach advantage for Odie Osborne, and I think that could cause some problems for Ronaldo. But aside from that, I mean, I think this is Ronaldo Rodriguez's fight to lose. You know, I think it's all him.
yeah, I definitely agree on this particular fight. I'm sure there'll be disagreements later in this episode. As much as I like to disagree with you and, you know, have one of us be wrong, you know, I can't say that I disagree with you, dude. Osborne's coming off a 2-fight losing streak. I do lean southpaw over orthodox typically, and so that's like the only area where I really see a favor in this fight. But Rodriguez is a force to be reckoned with, to be honest, and he could be a very good up and comer in the future. So,
No, I totally agree with that. There's a lot. I mean, people are kind of sleeping on the hype of this card. I mean, there's 2 title fights on it. Mexican Independence Day. I think it's going to be an incredible card. Before we get any farther in these pay-per-view matches, I do have to say that I think this is one that you guys are not going to want to miss out on watching. I think that a lot of these fights are going to be fireworks shows. There is a women's belt on the line, and we'll get to that fight later, but I think that will absolutely be a fireworks show, and I think that's going to be a freaking fun fight to watch, believe it or not.
so, hey, sometimes those women, they'll put on every now and then.
Especially
Not all.
situationally between these 2 women, which we'll get into that in a second. But the next matchup that we need to talk about is Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics, if that's the correct pronunciation. Cool. If not, you guys shit on me in the last video. Do it again. I don't care. I got thick skin. If that's not the correct pronunciation, just go for it. In this particular fight, though, I would really like to go Esteban just because he lands significant strikes at about a 16% higher percentage rate than what Daniel Zellhuber lands. The only thing that's holding me back, though, and the reason why I'm going Zellhuber in this matchup is because Zellhuber has a 77-inch reach with a 69-inch reach for Esteban. So that reach advantage is just a little too much for me. I think I have to go Zellhuber on this one.
Yeah, that's definitely a difficult fight to pick against the men. I think, though, even though he lacks in reach, I think that Esteban is going to be fine. I think that he's just got a little more experience. I think you could go either way in this fight. I think he's got a little more pop behind his punches. I think he's going to find a way to mitigate the reach and really get inside and get some power going, because you can really get some power inside if he can get close, maybe throw some elbows. Dude, he lands big shots a lot of times. He lands a lot of big shots, and I think that he could catch him early. Now, I'm drawing a blank. Daniel, if you let him get to the outside, if you let him stay outside and let him keep his distance and just kind of keep the pace down for most of the fight and just kind of work that jab, he's probably going to win the fight. But I never want to say that I think a fight's going to go to a decision, so I think that you'll see fireworks. And being that there will be fireworks, I just think the harder puncher in this fight is the Argentinian, and I think that he will come out with the win.
I think one thing that's interesting about this fight, and I haven't seen a lot of people been talking about it lately, both of these guys are only one-loss guys, and they're both young. Ribovics or Esteban, considering I don't really have the correct pronunciation, or maybe I do. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. I like when you comment. But my biggest thing is these guys are both young. Esteban's 28. Daniel Zellhuber, he's 25 years old. Both of these guys have got a lot of time and a lot of room to grow as fighters, and I think you're going to be hearing these names for a really long time, regardless of what aspect that this fight goes. Regardless of who wins this fight, I think both of these guys are going to both be great fighters in their own respects.
I definitely agree. No doubt, 100%. So,
now, the next fight.
Fight I'm very excited for.
This is fight of the night, dude.
For sure.
Fight me if you disagree, and we'll have fight of the night. But Brian T-City Ortega versus Diego Lopez.
Yeah,
I'm gonna turn the tables to you. I want to hear what you got to say first.
Okay, you want to hear what I have to say?
I feel like I feel like we're gonna disagree on this one for sure.
I don't know that we will. So, it's very tough for me to pick this fight, but honestly, just looking at it, man, and I always lean towards the more experienced guy, and I'm gonna continue to do that, honestly. Brian Ortega is going to win that fight. I love Diego Lopez. He's a force to be reckoned with right now. But he's been caught before. He can be caught again. He is human. I know Brian Ortega's missed weight and, got sick and everything like that for these fights. But Brian Ortega, when he's healthy and when he's in the ring, once he steps in the ring, everything goes away. Brian Ortega is one of the best fighters ever. He only has 3 losses over his career. Everybody hates on him because of all the ego stuff and all the talk and the weird stuff he says. Maybe he's a weird person. He's a great fighter, and that's for certain. He controls the ground. He's great on the ground. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, one of the best ground game artists in the sport right now. But he shows that he can stand up and throw him on the feet, dude, and he can take a beating. And there's no doubt about that. And I think that Brian Ortega is going to get it by submission.
I like the take. And although that I predicted us to disagree, I was thinking Brian Ortega gets this job done. We've seen Diego Lopez come out against Dan Ige, and going into even just the 3rd round, Lopez looked absolutely gassed. Given it was a catchweight bout and everything, but still, all that means is the fact that Diego Lopez had time to rehydrate. There's no reason why he should have looked that rough. Not that it was a bad fight or an ugly fight for Diego Lopez. I mean, even Dan Ige had a good fight on just, 3-4 hours notice? Yeah. If even that much time.
And props to Dan on that fight.
Yeah, props to both of those guys.
For sure.
For one. Sure. I mean, both of those guys are absolute freaking warriors. But people automatically are just leaning and clinging to Diego Lopez. And they're just talking about all the losses that are on Brian Ortega's record is 3 losses. And all 3 of those losses are former champions of the UFC.
Yeah, it's all
you got
Yair
losses. Rodriguez. You got arguably the featherweight GOAT in Alexander Volkanovski. And then last but not least, you got this guy right here, Max Holloway, that beat him. And if you got beat by those three guys, I don't even think that puts a blemish on your resume, to be honest.
And he looked good in most of the fight. Like,
And he
fought well.
When he fought all those guys, except Yair Rodriguez, Yair's the only fight that he lost that wasn't a title fight.
For sure.
So, I mean, I don't think that there's any way that you could put down on Ortega's record based off the people that he has lost to. I mean, he's lost to I mean, you could even arguably say that Yair, Volkanovski, and Max Holloway are the three best featherweights ever.
Definitely. I mean, it's definitely an argument to be made there for sure. And another thing I will tell you is Lopez has been very active recently, which is a good thing, but it's not always a good thing because you want a little bit of time in between to really recover, get your full camp, get everything ready, get everything done. Ortega, on the other hand, has had about that right amount of time with the miss in the fight and everything. He's had plenty of time to recover, but not too much time since he's been in the octagon. So I think he's at that perfect little peak window where he's just going to be ready to go in this fight. And I think Diego Lopez, I mean, at some point your body has to get tired from just constantly training. He hasn't took a break. He's been constantly training. Nobody's really done this. He may be the most active fighter.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about that. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's going to – God. Sorry about that, you guys. That's going to stay in, but it is what it is. Let's hope it doesn't happen again, though. Anyways, the next fight we got on our list, we're going to go ahead and move on from that. Sorry about that again. We got Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. This is the fight that I said was going to be an absolute fireworks show. The only problem with this matchup is the fact that they were both the Ultimate Fighter coaches for this year. And they're like the Ultimate Fighter, usually you kind of see some fire and back and forth between the coaches. There was none of that going on this entire season. So I don't really know what happened there, but now they're getting a chance to fight each other again. And in this particular situation, I think Valentina Shevchenko wins by knockout. And I think that you might say that's a crazy pull. I don't care what your opinion is. I think Valentina Shevchenko was just sleeping on Grasso the last time, and I think Shevchenko is going to be coming out fire and ready to go. This match is labeled right now as a pick'em, which means both of these people are technically the favorites. I've got to go Shevchenko by knockout in this fight. I'm going to say I'll even step out on a limb and say round 2 knockout.
So if you're looking at the paper, you should be correct because right now we have this is going to be their third fight. Valentina, my bad. Alexa Grasso won the first fight. She won the first fight by submission. The second fight was the no contest. So this fight should go to your girl, but I don't think that it will. I think that Grasso is going to win the fight again. I think, I went back and watched, and I don't know. I feel like that the second match wasn't a draw. I think that Grasso won the second match. So I think right now she's beat her twice, and it's hard to beat somebody 3 times. But I think Alexa Grasso is going to win. Alexa Grasso is going to win this for a third time. There's not much reason behind it. It's girls fighting. I think it's going to go to decision this time, even though, both fights have been good. It's just I really have been down on the women fighters. I haven't watched a good women's fight in probably about 4 months now. So kind of down on them.
So I typically wouldn't be on my phone during an episode, but I'm going to go ahead and order the clown mask for you for the episode 2 episodes from now.
I don't think
that's a terrible take, dude. But we'll see. We'll see. We got a little bit of firepower going between us now. We got a little bit of work going on, and let's see if we agree or disagree here on the next fight. We got the main event of the evening.
I don't believe that we will.
I don't think that there's any way we disagree on this. It's going to be Sean O'Malley facing off. That was pretty good, eh?
I'll tell you what.
I'm about to get this last name right, too. Merab Dvalishvili. How about that? That's
really
correct
good
pronunciation.
Let me tell
you.
Hate me
now.
Let me tell you, though. It's going to be Merab with a loss. With the loss, he's not winning. No, Sean O'Malley's definitely winning this fight. There's no doubt. Dude, Merab's just got, as much as I want him to win, as good as his wrestling is, I get that he picked Cejudo up, carried him around the ring. Just go look at the tape, dude. Just go look at the tape. He's got a glass chin. I love Merab, dude. Merab's an awesome person. He's funny. He's cool. I love him. But he's got a glass chin, dude. He's stupid. He's honestly stupid. He broke his own head. Like, what an idiot, I I hope he
never
wins.
forget the first time I watched. Dude, I had no idea that even happened. And then Jude told me about it like 2 weeks ago, and I looked it up, and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this is kind of like the conversation that we had last night about, like, our taste in women. You know, how we wish we could trade. I wish the personality of Merab would trade with O'Malley's personality. Because I really wish that Sugar had the same, like, personality and everything that Merab does as the champion. And I would love somebody with the personality of Merab to be champion. Merab's not beating Sean O'Malley.
No, he's
Hate
just
to
not.
tell you, Merab's not beating Sean O'Malley. If you got Merab, you're an idiot. Vegas, you're idiots. You guys all got Merab as the favorite. Merab is not gonna beat Sugar Sean O'Malley.
And
Go watch every Merab fight, bro. He got almost chin by Cejudo. Every fight, he's literally been knocked down.
Yeah.
He at least gets hit, and you're like, okay, this fight's about to end.
Yeah, he
now
stumbles.
He does somehow manage to come back. He does have incredible cardio. There's a lot of good things going for Merab Dvalishvili. The only problem is there's a guy named Sugar Sean O'Malley standing in his way. You got the lankiest guy in the 35-pound division.
Explosive.
This guy's
dude.
explosive. He's huge to only weigh 135 pounds. He's got an insane reach. He's got insane power. That looping straight is just nuts. There's nothing you can do about it.
Speed.
He's gonna catch Merab with that, or Merab's gonna come in for a single leg takedown and little uppercut action, and bang, that's gonna be the end of the fight. Sean O'Malley is gonna knock Merab Dvalishvili out. That's gonna be it. The machine, no more.
Now, I'll tell you what, though. If it does happen to go to decision, if it does get to round 4 or round 5, then I think that we're wrong. If it somehow gets to round 4 and 5, we're wrong. I'd be willing almost to bet my mortgage in the first 3 rounds, Sean O'Malley, the 4th and the 5th, Merab. I think that Merab holds every advantage in this fight except the stand and bang, the boxing, and he just doesn't have a chin, dude. As much as I want to go with him, he's a great fighter, and he's well rounded too, honestly. But he's got a glass chin, dude. As simple as that. I love other fighters like Johnny Walker is who I was trying to think of. I love Johnny Walker, but Johnny Walker's never going to be a champion. He just has a glass chin, dude. Yeah. Great fighter. And he's not a champ.
Another thing about this fight is nobody in the 135-pound division, this has been proven already, nobody in the 135-pound division has the power that Sugar Sean O'Malley possesses. And if you disagree with that take, and for whatever reason you yourself disagree with that take and are an MMA personality, and you speak about MMA, whatever, YouTube channel, podcast, whatever, you're an idiot.
I don't necessarily agree.
I think that O'Malley, at least current fighters, I think O'Malley's the most powerful current bantamweight that there is.
I would probably agree. I'd have to look at that list. I'm gonna have to look. You keep talking,
dude.
But let me look through bantamweight.
I don't understand.
Let me look through bantamweight.
I don't think that there's any way that there's a more powerful
current bantamweight.
I mean, look what O'Malley's done. I mean, he's a beast, dude. I don't think that there's any way that Sugar Sean does not win this fight unless, like Jude said, it goes into the 4th or 5th rounds. If it goes to the 4th or 5th, Merab's definitely got the edge with the cardio. We've seen the videos of O'Malley training and, puffing down or whatever you want to call it. He has his little fun. I mean, given he locks in whenever it's time for training camp. But it's just a matter of, it's going to be neck and neck. If it gets past the 3rd round, it is going to kind of be Merab's fight to lose, though.
Gosh,
what do you think?
I want to find the bantam weight rankings, to be quite honest, but I'm struggling to find those. But
let me see if I
anyway, no, I think I definitely agree with you for sure. I definitely agree with you. I think I got him here. So, I'll see. I mean, maybe. He may be. Corey Sandhagen's he can be pretty powerful. Cheeto Vera is powerful. But that doesn't
fluky though, dude.
But you can be more powerful. There's guys that are powerful. I think Francis Ngannou is one of the most overrated fighters ever. He's one of the most powerful fighters ever in the UFC, but I think he's very overrated. He wasn't that great. I mean, I said in the boxing match he was going to lose before he ever lost. I wouldn't have ever put money on him. He's not that great on the feet. He's just strong, and that will get you places. It'll get you to the same place that got Cheeto Vera. It'll get you talked about, but it's just not going to get you consistently winning.
Right.
So I don't necessarily, and I mean, Aldo can have pop at times, you know. There's guys that may this in the conversation for sure, but
there's nobody that's just regularly got more power than Sean O'Malley or the ability to throw as many punches as O'Malley does. Who
is Merab really? Has Merab even fought anybody as strong as? Because I mean, he beat Aldo, but he beat Aldo, you know, kind of on the back end of Aldo. So it's not like, you know, other than that, yeah, Merab's best win's probably going to be against Jan, when Jan was really good. That would be his best win,
yeah,
and it's by decision. So I think that you go look at Merab's track record. If it goes to decision, almost every time he's winning. So if it's a decision fight, for sure. If you want to take somebody by decision, if you think this fight's going to go to decision, pick Merab. Take O'Malley by knockout. If you're gonna bet on this fight, take O'Malley by knockout. There's no shot. I almost can't believe that this would end in a submission. I almost couldn't believe that.
I don't think Merab's ever even had a submission victory.
And I don't believe Sean has either.
Merab's got one armbar ever, and that was a championship fight for ROC, Ring of Combat, at Ring of Combat 58. So,
and Sean doesn't have one. I don't believe.
I don't think
I've never
Sugar
seen
has
one.
a submission.
No way he
I'll
has
have
one.
a little peek right quick and just.
But anyway, like I said, if you're gonna bet on the fight, take Merab by decision. You know, take O'Malley by knockout. Put a little bit on each one. See what maybe you can hedge and make some money. I haven't really looked. I don't gamble, so you know, can't really tell you. But I know a lot of you guys probably watching gamble, so. That's not a bad idea for sure. It's going to be a great fight. Regardless, I think there's a lot of great fights on the night. I definitely agree. Ortega Lopez is definitely the fight to tune in and watch. I think that's going to be fight of the night. But I think some of these lesser known guys on this card is going to be some of the better fights. You know?
Yeah, I think this is a fun card. I think it's a little more interesting than people are saying. I think the reason why this card's getting overshadowed right now is just because of the news of UFC 308. Which we'll talk about later.
Card,
that card is going to be freaking insane. If you think there's a more stacked card than 308, there isn't. 300 probably wasn't even more stacked than what 308 is, in my opinion. But I think that's pretty much all we got for today. Jude, you got anything else to kind of close us out with?
Tell you what, I'm ready for Brendan Allen to fight. Like I said, you know, go obviously follow the Instagram, go follow the TikTok. We actually have the video up on the TikTok. And I believe, it's on the Instagram, huh?
Yeah, it's on our Instagram.
Yeah, so it's on our Instagram, our YouTube, our TikTok. You can what? Is it Poirier? No, it's Poirier taking the Zen out this exact can. So if you want a can that Dustin Poirier took a Zen out of.
And signed.
The last Zen out of it, too. So there's none in here, by the way. But, you know, he took the last Zen out of here. And so he signed it. And so if you want that, get us to 500, and we will be posting all that stuff on Instagram, which is why subscribe here, but follow the Instagram because we're going to post it on Instagram more than likely. Maybe our YouTube feed, probably our TikTok as well. So you'll be able to enter. You'll have multiple chances to enter. We'll figure out how we're going to do it. Maybe draw names out of a hat. Maybe do a name generator. Whatever. We'll figure that out in the future. But like I said, if you want a chance to win the Zen, 6 milli pepperminties, you know, go ahead and do that. So,
and a note to Dustin Poirier in case you ever tune in. I'm the peppermint guy, brother. Yes, sir. Amen. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, though, to the Outside the Octagon podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Outside the Octagon pod _. ProwlerPickles.com for those Prowler pickles, the best pickles you'll ever put in your mouth. And if you're a dude, hopefully the only. And we just got canceled and demonetized, but that's going to be a wrap, you guys. Thank you so much for